Hi, this is Sally Ramirez with the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges. Also, you can hear and you'll probably see my son Benjamin Waldron. He's 18 months old, and my husband is cooking us some food in the background. So today we are at Illinois Ranch, and what we're going to do is a ceramic sculpture activity and go on a mini nature hike. So on this little nature hike, what we're going to do is we're going to find a few materials so that we can imprint them into the clay and create textures. So let's go look around. So as you can see here, this is the road that we came in on. If I didn't mention it already, we're at the Illinois River Ranch. So there's nature all around us. Let's go ahead and pluck one of these leaves right here. And let's see what else we have. We can grab one of these leaves right here. Let's see. We could grab some of these twigs, these sticks right here. Let's have a few different nature pieces. Let's see what we can do with these. We can use a rock. Okay, so let's see. So we found a few different textures and a few different, I guess, artifacts that are gonna make textures. And there's a twig right here and another leaf. And so what I'm working with today is low fire clay. I bought this at Ceramic Cottage down the street from the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges. And it's only about 13 bucks per big 25-pound block. Now, if you don't have the means to be able to buy that or get there, I would recommend going on Dick Blick. They usually have a very good, quick turnaround with their supplies. And so I'm using a low fire clay, and the process of firing clay is first you get to play with it, sculpt it, it dries, and you fire it in a kiln, which can also be done at the Ceramic Cottage, and it comes out, it's hard, and then you paint your low fire glaze over it, take it back to Ceramic Cottage, or wait and hold off on and keep all your products together, and then when it becomes safer or whenever you feel safer, you can go out and have them fired. Fire it one more time and then it's all done. So here's my clay. I've already pounded it out to get all the air bubbles out. Air bubbles, if you have too many in there, when it fires it, you could run the risk of it either exploding or pieces of your clay breaking off. So what I'm doing right now is I'm clamping down on the clay. I don't ever really use a rolling pin, because I want whomever gets my little bowl or plate to be able to see all of the beautiful little fingerprints, and so folks will know that this was handmade. This is a great activity, or playing with clay in general is great for folks who have difficulty with fine motor movement or gross motor skills. So that they can practice feeling and pinching and regaining hopefully a little bit more mobility. This is also a great activity if somebody's visually impaired. I work with a few different folks who prefer sculpture or playing with clay because they can feel it and they actually know what it is, where their boundaries are. Hey, Pun. So went ahead and flattened it out, and now I'm going to grab one of our artifacts. I think this might be an oak or maple leaf, I'm not sure. Right there. And I'm gonna turn it around and see all of you could see some of the vines, or the veins, sorry. The veins and the textures, and let's see how well that comes out. So I'm going to make sure that it's long enough for the actual piece. I'm going to lay it in there like that. I'm going to press firmly down. Now during this process, what you might see the leaf or whatever you're pressing in start to break apart, which I would just continue to work with. But if you don't like what comes out, you could always collapse the clay, pound it out again, put some water, which means to reconstitute it, and then you could just try again. Like that. Just pressing it down. Like that. Yeah, this is clay. And let's peel it off and see what we have. It might be so faint, you might not even really see what's going on there. Like that. Look at that. So it's so faint, but once this is fired, what happens when we put a glaze on is that it will seep into the crevices and it'll look like it's been, you'll be able to see different parts of the clay poke through. I'll have to do a tutorial pretty soon once we've gathered all of and collected and gathered all of our accumulated all of our pieces and fired them and then glazed them. Okay, so now what you could do is, if you're unhappy with how, like, the depth and the imprint and the character of the leaf, what you could do is you can go in with different tools and you can make a deeper imprint right there. You see that? You could use the leaf as a guide for where you want to put marks. Hi, Ben. This is real life, y'all. When you're working at home, you're working with your kids around, and you just kind of pivot, you go with the flow. So I'll put some more of that, more of an imprint in. You could take it a step further and you can start to pinch out the actual boundary of the leaf. So let's say I started to pinch that out. You hear the woodpecker in the background. Do you like some clay? Thank you. So I'm pinching out some of the pieces from and around the boundary of the leaf, like so. And just kind of shaping it up. So the edges look a little rough, but that's what I want. So this could either dry flat, it could be a little dish for very few items, or what you can do is use foil to shape it up and perhaps turn up the sides or turn it into a bowl. So I happen to have foil on our camping trip. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold it and shape it into a bowl, or at least with the sides that start to curve up like that. So it'll hold the structure when we put our piece in. So I'm pushing it in and I'm going to fold the sides up. Like so. So I made a little cupped area. So there's a little boundary. Perhaps I could use this for a little place to drop my keys off, or perhaps put a little candle in the middle of it and create a little ritual before dinner time, little gratitude candle, and practicing what I'm grateful for, my family, what they're grateful for, and then eat dinner together. I don't know, there's so many little things that you can do with this little delicate piece. There's my son again coming back. But if you're someone who doesn't have access to clay, maybe you're working with flour and water, using some sort of Play-Doh, what would happen is this would dry, and you don't even need to go in with, if you're working with those materials, you don't even need to go in with glaze. What you would go in with is perhaps acrylic paints. So what I'm going to do is in the comments below, I'm going to drop a few pictures of what this was inspired by so that you can see real time the work in progress and what it eventually can look like once it's fired and glazed and gone through the entire process. So I'm glad you can join me, actually us, and my son Ben. And again, this is Sally Ramirez with the Center for Individuals with Physical Challenges, and I hope you enjoyed this.